This week on The Grind, we finish our hunt on the pond, beat the shooting light buzzer, then run traffic in the middle of a bean field.
I yearn for a place to call my own. I'm going home. Say what you will, I'll be better for it still. I've been wondering what you're doing with your time, just to get you off my mind. I'm in the grind.
The Grind Waterfowl TV is brought to you by Dakota Decoy, premium gunning decoys for demanding hunters. Lucky Duck, masters of deception. Rio, official ammunition of The Grind. Share the experience. Mud Buddy, the king of mud motors. Excel, the boat to own. Cornerstone Gundog Academy, the world's most accessible online retriever training program. High Mountain Seasonings, handcrafted jerky, seasonings, and meat processing tools. Sitka Gear, turning clothing into gear. Alps Outdoors, exceed your expectations. Benelli, simply perfect. And these fine sponsors. This segment is brought to you by Mud Buddy and Excel Boats.
We hunted hard that day, and we went up and had a little break that afternoon for about an hour or two, and then we went back out to the blinds, and we stayed after it. Bart, myself, Tim, and the guys at Angel Wings, we stayed out there. Good shot.
Good calling, Ricky.
Nice shot. Nice shot. Yeah, good work. Gotta let the Predator guy step in and do what he does in Nebraska every time. Just a dinger.
One for one,
baby.
So it's about 10 to 3, and we just got out in the blinds and been in here 10 or 15 minutes and had a single drake come in, nice and cherry. Had to talk to him a little bit more than normal, but sat right down, and Jeff took a nice shot, and we're back in the game. So hopefully the next hour and a half until shooting light's going to be a good one. The great thing about the spinner is that the single mallard was up there, so he broke down on the spinner, started to work around, but worked us probably about 4 or 5 times, and so I'd get a comeback call, and then he'd come back around every time, but just wouldn't break that edge. So finally, on about the 4th or 5th time, I ended up shutting the spinner off just as he started to break the edge, and then he just settled right in. So sometimes it's good to have them on just to kind of, break the ducks down, and then as soon as they get broke down, maybe just shut them off. But that's a huge advantage of having an HD remote kit on the duck is having the ability to control what's going on out there without having to run out there and do that, and it can change the behavior of the ducks in flight. So it worked out really well.
Try turning that spinner off.
Behind the tree.
He's down.
We haven't had one laying there all day.
It's a good sign.
Martin, that was you. You gotta trim half that tree.
Good shot. Did you shoot that, Rick? Good shot.
Good shot, whoever shot that. Thank you. Boy, why didn't they working together? I mean, they were sitting there working and working and working and working. Turn the spinner on, turn the spinner off.
This segment is brought to you by Rio Ammunition.
You just kind of waited, and we waited, and some birds went out to feed, and some birds wanted to come back in there, and what that created was, with some of the ducks is that It wasn't the big mondo wads coming back. It was just singles and pairs and little bunches that would come trickle back, and it provided us with really phenomenal shooting.
Right here, Drake, shoot, right here. We helped spin him. You helped me spin him around.
Red.
I was like, look at those two ducks. I'm like, oh, look at this guy try to sneak right in here. Thanks for the help on that one, Tim. The thing is that you got to get them. You got to get them about right here, because if not, you're like trying to find them in the grass, you know.
Trying to stand up fast on ice is
Yeah.
not easy to do.
Yeah, I'm waiting to go backwards for sure. For sure.
Man, it's getting tough. We lost all of our wind. I mean, there's just nothing but drakes coming through here, you know, onesies, twosies, but they'll work down, but they just slide out because there's just no wind. So it's just tough. Just really, really tough right now.
Yeah, they're trickling in and they're coming back to water, I think maybe before they feed, but we lost our wind completely, and they're wanting in the corner of this pond. So a little bit of soft calling and sitting still and letting them work, and a lot of patience. But shooting all drakes, so that's been nice.
Big bunch, big bunch, big bunch.
One of those things again, it's the last 10 minutes of daylight, and next thing we know, mondo, wads, and mallards started to come in.
Sean, there's birds above us.
There's no better shot. I mean, you want them closer than that, but you got no wind.
Good shot. Red.
Nope, that's all right. And it was just a nice little gentleman's hunt, I'd like to call it, because birds were just trickling back, and one or two guys would shoot. It wasn't, you know, whole group shooting, and those are some of the nice hunts that some of the better hunts that I've ever been on.
We got 2 minutes. I got 2 shells.
Red. That's a way to end it.
It's game over.
That was good.
Game over alarm right there. Game over.
That's pretty slick right there. That's a good way to end the day. Pair came right in, dropped them right here, and 45 seconds later we get the alarm that it's shooting light. So good end to a fun day.
What? My boy Jim Sawbeer, I punched a hen right there. Yeah, that's my hen. That's me. That's for Jimmy.
The last one of the day. Watch the show. Look at this. We got birds. They want in here big time, so they're saved by the bell. Shooting light.
The pond hunt had been a success, and the big wads of ducks were still safe to fly another day.
Hey guys, I'm Barton Ramsey, and this is a Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy training tip. Today I want to talk about how to reward, different ways that you can reward a dog. With puppies, we really like to reward with food, whether that's a cut up hot dog or the dog's kibble. We use food as a motivator to reward the dog and teach the dog the behavior you just did will get you what you really want. And so the dog will be likely to associate that and continue doing the behavior. Later on, we want to remove food as a reward and begin using a retrieve or a good boy and a scratch on the head. Retrieve is a great reward for a gun dog, and so what you want to do is make sure the dog only gets retrieves when they're doing the behavior that you desire. So it's very important. If you're teaching a young dog to be steady and you throw the dummy and they break and they get the dummy, they've gotten the reward for an inappropriate behavior or wrong behavior. So have someone stand out there and if they break, they pick it up and remove the reward. Your reward always needs to be whatever the dog really desires at the time and appropriate for the dog at whatever stage in training he or she is in.
This segment is brought to you by Lucky Duck Premium Decoys.
So out here in Nebraska again with Angel Wings, and we have this worked up bean field here. There's been birds in it more inconsistently than anything. You know, there's still lessers around, and it's working towards mid-January now, and it's unseasonably warm, and I think it just goes for everybody's season this year. It's crazy. There's talk that there's open water still in Alberta, and you know, birds are spread out. Lessers are here, which they're normally gone by now. So it's just dealing with the hand that we're dealt, and we're going to run the traffic on some of these lessers and put out a big spread of some Dakotas this morning and hope for the best. That's all we can do right now. But again, this weather this year is just not fun.
Well, boys are running traffic today, so we're going to go with the black side of the wings up to get a little more visibility and try to draw some of these birds in from longer distances.
As we finished stubbling the blinds, the anxiousness set in as we hoped the birds would stay on the same pattern.
Yep.
Maybe.
I shut them off, and then after they went back out, I turned them back on, and then they just kept floating over the top of them. I'm gonna go pull them in.
We haven't seen any big flocks yet of lessers, but we just had a pair work and came right in, worked right over the flappers. We had the flappers out a little bit, so we're gonna move them in. And hopefully the rest of the birds, as they come out, will work those flappers in tighter towards us.
Kill him. Yeah, kill that goose. Kill him. Hey, no wind, that's what happens. Give me that coat.
Start floating.
Oh, the struggles of no wind. The month when there's supposed to be nothing but wind and snow and cold. And here we are. It's like mid-October.
Go ahead and kill him.
We started the morning off well here. We've got a couple pairs that have worked us well, but they're pushing to the left of the blind up further towards the top of the decoy spread. So we're just gonna grab some of the decoys from the top of the spread, move them back, and hopefully center those birds up better and get them finishing in a little tighter.
Do it. Kill him. Good shot, fellas.
Down. 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 Kill him. Okay. Him.
That was awesome. Thanks. We had a single come in. We had Jeff Nemnitz joining us, and he had just parked his truck and was running down this watering pivot. And so he's hiding. We had this single working us for a couple turns and came right in and knocked him dead. Now Jeff can hop in the blind and join us.
Amy.
Good shot.
Dude, what's odd is they came from so far up, maple leafing all the way down, like acting like almost like molt migrators, and then the two peel out. I mean, they maple leaf twice.
Talk about birds coming from the heavens. There's 3 geese up super high, and that was like what you think of when you say they're working right down the elevator shaft. That was really cool. Guys did a great job calling, and then no matter within 60 seconds they were mile high, and then all of a sudden right on top of us in the decoy spread. Huh? Oh yeah.
This segment is brought to you by Dakota Decoy.
Oh, I love the smell of gunpowder. Ah, awesome.
Look at that one, dude.
This is amazing because we're just running traffic, so you get these singles and pairs coming by, or one will break off of a little flock and just do it right and suck right in. Can't ask for anything better. Sorry, Jeff. Taste the beer, boys. Yep. That's all right. Well, my glass wasn't half full last night. We're running traffic out here in a bean field, and it's supposed to get up to, I don't know, 45, 50 degrees. No snow on the ground, so being a Midwest guy, I was a little skeptical of running traffic in a bean field. And I told Taylor, I said, you know, if we shoot double digits, then I'll buy you a case of beer. Well, I'll buy a case of beer, and then Tim, my boss, just said it's unexpensible, so it's really coming out of my pocket now.
So we broke for lunch, let Tim get out of there, and we went and had a really good lunch and came back out, and Taylor had called up another friend just to have another shooter in the blind and another caller, and I said, Taylor, you know what, I'll make it one better. I said, let's do double or nothing. And he was like, all right, we're in.
That group's coming right at us. Straight behind us.
Ready? Kill! Hey, boys! Hey, boys! Way to wipe out! Way to wipe out!
Hey, I got 2 in one shot. I got 2.
Come on, now, tell a story.
Here.
Here.
Here. That was sweet, dude.
That was sick.
That was sweet.
That was sick. I
That's what
shot
happens
once,
when you have
everybody's like
shooters.
dumped once.
Here. Come on.
4 shooters, 5 birds. Bingo.
Easy.
Bingo. They came right in and just right there. One time.
There was no pass.
One
That
time.
was
One time.
like a half pass.
One time.
I hate to say it, Ricky,
Yes, sir.
but we only got 4 more birds. Stay, Amy.
Yeah, so we came out this morning, we shot a few this morning. Nothing was really wanting to decoy. I mean, we got some, singles and pairs and kind of just chipped away at a few. Tim had to jump back on a flight, so he shot his birds. Now we're back out here, and we ain't been in the blinds 15 minutes, and I think we've already scratched out, I don't know, 6 or 8 already. So it's been good, and there's a better wind than there was, some clouds, and I think we're gonna have a pretty good afternoon. I'm gonna shoot this single.
Not bad. That's not bad at all. That's the thing though. Those are the big geese, and they were all little geese above them. Yep. So I thought, these big ones ain't gonna start to spin. And when did we drop on that? 3 or 4? 3. Yeah, you're right. This hunt today alone's cost me $40. So day 3 here at Angel Wings. Unseasonably warm, obviously. I think we've mentioned that a bazillion times, but still great times. I mean, if I was going to struggle anywhere right now, I'd want it to be here. We had a really good duck shoot yesterday, killed a few geese, and then we came out here and ran traffic this morning. Killed maybe 10 or so this morning, and we were able to chip away, I think, and got another 10 or so this afternoon. So it's just doing what we can right now with the cards that were dealt, and it just hasn't been an easy year at all, and but it's been a lot of fun.
Next week on The Grind, we head south to Oklahoma to hunt with our new friends at Falco Outfitters.